You are now tuned into Somewhere in the Middle with Soonie and Mo.
Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey.
Hey, Don on the beat.
Hey, I got so many ops.
Everywhere I go, I
got so many ops.
so many ops.
I know they plotting against me. I know it's hate, they wanna kill me, but please don't tempt me, cause I got so many glocks. Hey, ain't none of them empty. Jesus said they would hate me too. That's how I know it's envy. I got so many ops.
What up, y'all? What up?
What up? Happy Happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride Month.
Listen,
we were not late. Oh my goodness, 3 minutes.
You
Simmer
guys.
down. Half of you motherfuckers. I'm about to get real ratchet real quick before we start our show. Half of you motherfuckers is on Instagram anyway, listening to nonsense. Nothing going on Instagram.
yeah,
Come over to the show and actually get news, objective opinions, and
Yeah.
shit that matters.
go over to Said
Go
and
to
Deontay's
Said Live
live.
in droves and tell them I'm live right now.
Disrespectful.
Don't disrespect my hour. Come on now.
Exactly. We're celebrating Pride Month over here. Hello. I'm sitting here with the whole rainbow behind me. Okay. Celebrating the pride in my straight heterosexuality. This right here is what God gave us, not the fill in the blank, Soonie.
Hey, my blasted said, keep going.
Oh, it's Judy's birthday month. Okay. That's the new month. It's Judy's birthday month.
Judy. Uh-oh, Judy's
Judy.
here. Hold on.
Judy's here. We got to put.
Big booty Judy. What? Big cutie, big booty Judy. Big booty, big cutie, big booty Judy. Stop. I wanna see you move it. Yeah. Big booty Judy. Big booty Judy. Big booty Judy. That's big booty Judy. Big booty Judy. That's big booty Judy. Big booty Judy. That's big booty Judy.
Hey, big booty Judy.
Oh, all right, guys. Well, as you can see by the title of our show, we're going to be having kind of a pride themed show. It's not going to be all about that.
Yeah.
Because there's things going on in the news, but we're going to start off with that because today we have a teensy bit of a shorter show because Soonie's got kids getting out early, last day of school for them. So she's got to go pick those little chippity chaps up.
Yes. Last day of school. I'm actually excited for the summer. We get to hang out. My kids are going to be super busy.
Yeah.
My daughter actually got invited to competitive gymnastics. So she's going to be trying out in July. She's going to be working out all summer so she can get ready for that. My son, he's playing 3 sports. So you guys are probably not going to see me as often outside of Tuesday and Friday.
I was about to say, they're not going to see Soonie. Mo may have to fill in. Just joking. Oh, we go get on. I'm gonna get on Soonie's live and talk about love and
this is why she doesn't have access to my shit.
Oh,
this
man.
is why. No, we got a good show planned for you guys. I'm excited to do this show. I'm excited for people to learn a few things. I'm excited to see the comments. We're actually going to have a debate here because we don't agree on one specific topic.
Yeah.
And I know people are excited to hear that. Red Pill is one of them. She's like,
you guys love when we disagree. Yeah. And I will say this, like, I think Soonie didn't think that I would disagree with her on this subject. And especially after you guys see the videos that we're about to show you. And this is kind of like an intro so that you guys can really grasp the amount of indoctrination that's being pushed.
Yeah, dude.
I think even after seeing those, because we were kind of watching them before the show started, it was hard to like even watch those videos and think, dang, dude, I gotta speak my viewpoint on this. And it kind of hurts. Like it kind of hurts to do it. I know I'm gonna get killed, but I think I have a good reason to do it. Although I'm gonna get blasted by Christian people for sure, because they're gonna say that I'm being disingenuous, which is everybody's favorite word to use with me. Disingenuous. And what's the other thing they say? I tell anecdotal stories. Yes, anecdotal stories. Which, in a sense, this is an anecdotal story because I have like actual experience.
Yes,
with this. So,
absolutely.
Yeah. Said came over to our show.
No, he's still live.
Oh,
he's still live. Who else is over there? Mike is over there. Nikki's over there. All the people that normally watch, they're over there.
Yeah.
Whatever.
He said, "Hey, ladies, he's in here."
Whatever. I see y'all live. Shut this shit down. Y'all ain't talking about nothing worth listening to.
Ooh.
Absolutely nothing. It's get offline.
Haters. They don't support Black and brown businesses. Let it be known.
They don't. Damn.
Let it be known, okay? When they start talking about we need to start supporting Black and brown businesses, here we are, and there they are on their live.
On their live, doing nothing.
Yep.
So let me stop.
Yep.
Hey, I'm
Anyways.
talking shit. Exactly. Shut that shit down.
Shut it down. Everybody go right now. 2 seconds. Take your phone. Everybody, how many people we got in here? How many people we have watching? 21 people?
I got 21.
Okay, right now. We're going to start. I swear to God, we're going to start. Go right now to Sed's Live and type in the comments, shut that shit down, and then at somewhere in the middle.
Facts. How disrespectful is this? Tuesday and Friday at 9 p.m. are the only days that I asked for. Tuesdays and Fridays, and I can't even get that. They're gonna talk about these dumb ass. I bet you y'all talking about reparations and black people shit. I bet you money. And this conversation is more useful to black people than whatever they talking about on this live, bro.
I shout out to Redman,
shit down.
Ashley, Red Pill, Fam 0619. Ha! I love y'all. Thank you for doing that. What's Sed saying? What is he saying?
Oh gosh. What's up, y'all? This is an amazing start to the show. This is how you know it's gonna be a good show.
Oh man. Support a black and brown truth slaying. Christine's about to get in there. Awesome. Okay, let's roll the fire video you have, and then we're gonna roll the video I have, and we're gonna play a lot of videos right now. But this, trust me, they're good videos. They're very important.
Yeah.
Start this discussion. They're crucial.
All right, guys, let's roll the clip.
I don't hate nobody. You understand? And as a therapist, I do therapy with homosexual males all the time. And for a lot of them, one of the precipitating issues that led to the homosexuality was childhood molestation by an adult when they were still a child. So I have an empathy for that. So I'm not going to go around ridiculing somebody because they're gay or lesbian or bisexual, because I know there's issues in their childhood that help bring that about. But at the same time, I reserve the right to say, I don't think this is in the best interest of my community. I don't hate you, but I'm not going to support it because I don't see the long-term benefit of practicing this type of behavior.
You don't think gay people were born gay. You think that there's
totally
a reason why they
environmental.
Became gay, whether they were touched as a child.
Learned behavior.
Yes. Learned behavior, really.
Yeah, most of them, not exclusively, but I find three major reasons for homosexuality and lesbianism. Number one, the absentee of that same-sex parent. When a boy, opposite-sex parent, no, same-sex parent, when a boy doesn't get the love of his father, that can create a thirst in him for masculine energy. No, stay with me.
I'm staying with you.
What he wants is a father. Mm-hmm. He wants that because a boy has a love affair with his dad, not sexual, but psychological. Right. Your dad is who makes you a man. Right. If that dad was not there to do that, sometimes your thirst, your desire for that parental masculine supervisory figure can lead you to hunt for it. And what is nothing more than a love or need for a father gets misunderstood and reinterpreted by popular culture as your desire to have sex with that man.
It's Pride Month, y'all.
It's Pride Month. All right, we got one more for you. This one's a little bit longer, but you guys are going to die when you see this. If I can get my mouse over there. Come on. All right, sorry.
And be attracted to men and women. I would say I think there's something deeper going on with the substantial rise with Black women identifying more as bisexual. And I think it's actually can be a healthy thing. It's historical. Even in ancient times, women helped cultivate each other's femininity and energy. And we helped heal each other. And we did have sexual chemistry and play.
The reason why I went for this is because he sags his ass off. Like every time we be kicking it with the homies, this would just be sagging. His ass would be so juicy. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, he was like, what made you want to holler at me? Like, out of all the homies, like, come on, bro. Like, I know I don't get that vibe and type. And I'm just like, bro, you don't get that vibe, but like, you always got your ass out. Like, that's the vibe. Like, what y'all don't understand is that attracts gay niggas or bisexual niggas. Like, so you doing that turns us on. So it don't matter if you get down or not. And honestly, that's why I said sagging is the biggest hint, because if you're not sagging, I've noticed there be some niggas with some fat ass booties, but I wouldn't even know because they won't be sagging. And because they not sagging, I'm not lusting for them.
You're saying I'm bisexual. I like females and males.
So
take us through that.
Don't get me wrong. I ain't out here sucking no and getting in the ass and no, but you feel what I'm saying? I'll make a nigga my like, you want to be my I'll my quick. Like, I don't get no I got a certain type. I like transgender shit like that. I like feminine, because I'm masculine, so I'm a motherfucking king. I come from king's royalty. I like power.
People keep forgetting I'm bisexual.
If you like women, why y'all didn't ever just think about like doing things together? Like,
we tried that once.
Oh, okay.
And I felt bad about it because the woman that we tried that with was really in love with me, and she didn't want to sleep with him, but she did it because of me. And there was a day, there was an experience that happened, and I saw how uncomfortable she was, and she just kept looking at me. She's sitting there him, but she's sitting there staring at me saying, I love you. I love you.
The thing with me, I'm non-monogamous. So I have a wife, I have a girlfriend, and I still, from time to time hook up with other girls. You know what I mean? And the thing is, it feels regular to me. It doesn't feel like I'm trying to do it or doing it because I'm forcing myself. It just feels just natural. Like it's something I want to do. You know what I mean? And so to not do it feels unnatural. You might just want this one woman for a relationship. I can understand that. But sexually, though, I think it's all BS.
It's not the number of kids, though. I guess people question the different baby mothers. That's what it is.
Why do people question that? I mean, because that's a Eurocentric concept when you think about the ideas of like, you're supposed to have this one person for the rest of your life. And really, that's just a classified property when you think about it.
Do you agree, like Nick Cannon and his spreading of his seeds?
100%. I agree with him 1,000%.
Oh, no, but what about the kids though?
What about them?
Because every single time you're at every single recital.
No, that's a white man's thing. Who gives a fuck about a recital?
No.
Gay men do identify with the affirming awesomeness of Black women, the Dreamgirls effect, the Beyonce effect, which you quoted. And also, too, we have to acknowledge historical context here, that many of the mannerisms that you spoke of in your article actually come from gay culture, like Paris is Burning, like Boys in the Band. These are not new mannerisms that have come in the last 10 years because of African-American female culture. It's been around.
Queer studies and critical race studies can be considered practices that have a shared political investment in terms of denaturalizing heterosexuality, right? To say that heterosexuality is not normal, it's not natural, it's not universal, and at the same time, denaturalizing whiteness, right? That it holds that whiteness is not natural or normal or universal, but a historical construct that has societal implications and impacts bodies.
Black slaves would be looked at as property. The ways in which these will load up both heterosexuality and whiteness onto the same body is something that we need to think about.
I do think that queer studies and critical race studies really work together.
Heterosexism is like whiteness. It's dominant, therefore it's rendered invisible. So we don't even pay attention to the codes that are enculturated in us, that are deeply inscribed in our subconscious, that we take for granted as the myth of the given. That's what we start with. How then do we not speak? The reason Black folk don't want to deal with homosexuality, because we can barely deal with heterosexuality, because America has shamed us. Gay, lesbian, transgender, bisexual. If that's gay, dig it. James Baldwin spoke for Black people as a Black gay man. Without Bayard Rustin, straight Black people would never enjoy the rights they enjoy now.
Bayard quoted, "Today, Blacks are no longer the litmus or the barometer of social change. The new niggers are gays. It is in this sense that gay people are the new barometer for social change. The question of social change should be formed with the most vulnerable group in mind, gay people.
In the Bible, it clearly states that homosexuality is wrong. And I feel that you are a powerful woman and you have done so much. And if you are going to represent yourself as a Christian and then you're going to go on the show and say that you also support that, it's double standarding.
Well, I have a different view of Christian than you do. Okay? And the God I serve doesn't care whether you're gay. And so that's just a difference of belief. And I don't expect to change your belief today because just before I came down here, I'm late today because I was in the makeup room arguing with somebody who was telling me how all gay people are going to hell. And now I'm going to hell with all the other gay people for doing the show. I take full responsibility for my going to hell. I take full responsibility, and I feel that everybody who's concerned about me now going to hell, I think that you all should take that energy and try to create a little heaven here on earth for everybody. And I take full responsibility for it.
Right.
And if Ellen says she's gay, I believe God created her gay. I believe God did that.
If we provided them a place to come out, they ain't got to act like they straight. They can be gay and great by themselves. God loves them too. You already been blessed by them. You didn't even know they were gay. What you gonna get, retroactively homophobic? Had I known that you were gay, I wouldn't have been blessed by your message. Had I known you were gay, I wouldn't have been stood up by your sermon. Had I known you were gay, the song you sung would not have blessed me. Too late. God done already blessed you.
Let me be clear about one thing right off the bat. I am a gay Black Christian who deeply believes that none of those things are in conflict or in question.
You muted.
Sorry. All right, guys. Thank you for hanging through those two videos. We hope you enjoyed them and that they sent a very powerful message. Though that last set of videos that you saw there was from a very interesting show that Chad Jackson did a couple weeks ago, actually 9 days ago, and it was called Is Black Culture Gay? And when I saw that, I was like, oh, that's an intriguing title. And I watched it. And when you see that compilation, it is like, whoa, you can really see how specifically targeted it has been, not just recently, but for many years, kind of driving home the point that Soonie often makes, that these things are little by little by little. And it's because we have made concessions to things to say, oh, it's not so bad. And I'm saying that I have said that, okay? Oh, it's not that bad. This isn't hurting everybody, this type of thing. We see how it's been inched in and inched in and inched in. And now we are where we're at today.
Yes, I agree. I'm glad he made that compilation. And I'm going to repost it because it does drive home what I've been talking about for 2 years straight. This is the reason I lost my platform. So to see it actually materialize 2 years later, what I've been saying, it feels good. And it feels good to have people notice it.
Mm-hmm.
And it ties into the discussions that we're going to be having as far as one of our topics goes. But this is a situation that has permeated through society. And now we, the whiteness people, right? Because you heard several times throughout that entire montage that heterosexual or heteronormative behavior is a standard of whiteness. This is how far we've come. They have infused all of this together so that it makes you fucking insane to the point where you can't think straight. That was mental masturbation. Nothing any of those people said made any sense. I sit here and I try to make sense of what people say, whether I agree with it or not. It doesn't matter. If I can make sense of it, then I can have a conversation with you. You would definitely have to take me down a whole line of history and I guess science of how you're coming up with any of these ideologies and outcomes. Like that, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. And this also ties into Pastor Brian. This is why I have deemed him a threat. This is why I made the video I made. He will tell you this has nothing to do with the LGBT movement, but anytime you hear him open his mouth in the last week and a half, it's been about Harvey Milk. Why can't Black folks wake up? Why can't America wake up and see what's going on in society? Why can't we see that having an absent father does create, let me not even say create, it poses a higher risk for your child to be homosexual. If studies are coming out saying this by reputable doctors, it's peer reviewed because people love to bring that up, right? There's a general consensus somewhere in the scientific community, in the, what's the other one? In the psychological community, right? Why can't we have these honest conversations? What's the problem?
I guess the problem is that they're never quite honest. They're never quite honest. Like when people, and I say that kind of like leading into our next topic, about The Chosen, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't really talk honestly about anything. Like, you know, me included, we are all, you know, personally involved in one way or another, right? So if you ask somebody about what makes them gay and they personally were molested as a child, and you say to them, could it possibly be that the reason you're gay is because you were sexually molested as a child? Now, that doesn't happen with everybody, right? But
Yes.
if you say that and they take offense to it, maybe because they don't want to talk about it, they don't want to admit that maybe that was the case, they want to believe that they were just born the way that they are, they're not interested in having that honest conversation because they're constantly in protection mode of their feelings. Just like when you have conversations like we're about to have now about The Chosen, you have people that surprisingly to me are speaking out against this. And I say I'm surprised because these very same people have defended people like Dave Rubin, right? Who recently had, oh my God, his name escapes me. Who's the guy? Richard Grinnell on his show, who proudly opened up his shirt to reveal a gay pride shirt that he purchased at Target. And Dave Rubin sat there and allowed it on his show. And the people that are speaking out to basically boycott The Chosen show have defended Dave Rubin and his gay relationship and him having children in that relationship. So when I talk about it, you guys may not like my opinion, but at least I'm honest about how I'm feeling about it, right? Like I'm not flip-flopping on you. Like this is a tough topic for me. This is a tough topic for me. And I'm admitting that. And I'm willing to hear and understand other people's points of view on this. But I think it just boils down to people don't want to have an honest conversation when it comes to this, you know?
I mean, that's probably the only thing I'm going to agree with you on in this subject is that there is a lot of hypocrisy. You do see multiple people coming out and condemning this while openly supporting homosexuality on the right. So I'll agree with you to that point, 1000%. And this is why Soonie doesn't have a platform, because I'm not willing to placate when it's convenient. I don't care. I'm going to say what I said yesterday, today, tomorrow, and 30 years from now. This is wrong. It should not be anywhere. Look, you can be homosexual. I don't think anyone cares. As far as I'm concerned, homosexuals have existed forever. And although there is some pushback because people find it detestable, there was never this tug of war that I remember. Like I said, I'm only 32, so it could have existed before my level of consciousness was really paying attention, but it wasn't this bad. They're going to make people homophobic. They really are. You can't escape it. I want you to give your take on this entire thing because we differ on it. And people are going to call me a religious fanatic. I don't care. At least I'm being honest and consistent in what I've always stood for.
Yeah. So to not have to like show you a bunch of videos and all the back and forth. So right here, what you're looking at on the screen is a still or a screen grab from a behind the scenes video that was posted by the Chosen profile or, internet profile pages or whatever, just kind of showing what goes on behind the scenes. They do this quite a bit on their show. Well, somebody grabbed it, and I forget the guy's name. He grabbed it, he tweeted this out, and he said, "Hey, Chosen, why is it that you have a pride flag on your set, right?" Which is a valid question. So what you're looking at here is a camera, and this is the cameraman's camera, and he's got a pride flag on his camera. It's a little like 3x3, one of those little mini flags or whatever. So somebody focused in on that, and then they asked that question, which was a valid question. And people started to kind of get upset because they were just like, this is a show about Jesus, the story of Jesus. You should not be promoting pride or LGBTQ or gay or anything like that on a set that has to do with this subject. Now, mind you, this is not a Christian production. This is in no way affiliated with the church. Everybody who works on this set, me included, because I've been an extra, you are an independent contractor. So nobody actually belongs to anybody as an employee here, right? The cameraman owns his equipment. The lighting man owns his equipment. The wardrobe people own their stuff. So whatever they want to wear on their person, as long as it's within the guidelines of the particular set that you're working on, you're allowed to do. Now, when I have worked on sets, they send a very long list of do's and don'ts. Some of them actually say, if your social media might reflect something that we might deem disrespectful, offensive, whatever, which to include could be your political beliefs, you better lock your shit down, because if we find it, you're fired. Okay. Now, on the Chosen set, they are very unique in the way that they do not police people's social media. So they tell people right off the bat, we do not tell you what you can or cannot post. We accept everybody here. So they have people that are Jewish, Mormon, non-denominational, whatever you want to call it, working on that set. It's not uncommon when you're working in the entertainment industry. What is uncommon is to be able to film a show about Jesus and have it be as popular as it is, because that doesn't exist anymore, right? So I said to Soonie, and here's the tweet. Soonie was putting the tweet up there so you could see what the Chosen responded. Can you make that a little bit bigger?
Sure.
So I can read it.
I shall try. Oh, it won't get any bigger. I'm sorry.
You had it a little bigger on that last page, or on the last image rate that you had. No, maybe that wasn't it. No.
Oh, you're talking about the news.
Yeah, I'm trying to read what it is they posted. Are you able to see that? Because I can't see that. What the Chosen responded. Can you read it?
Sure, I'll read it. Let me go back to the page. So the Chosen responded, just like with hundreds of cast and crew who have different beliefs or no belief at all than we do, we will work with anyone on our show who helps us portray or honor the authentic Jesus. We ask that audiences let the show speak for itself. Sorry, hold on, y'all. I have to pull the other one up. We ask that audiences let the show speak for itself and focus on the message, not the messenger, because we'll always let you down.
Yes. So that's what they responded. Now, it is not a Christian production by the ways of a Christian set, Red Pill, if you just want clarification on that. It is a Christian Bible-based show, but it is not a Christian production. There's no Christian affiliation with this show. This is just Dallas Jenkins, who is the director and creator of the show, who he actually had a passion for sharing the story of Jesus, and he crowdfunded to make that happen, and film this show, which I actually like the show. Now, a lot of people have critiqued the show many times because they have, said it's not exactly entirely accurate. I always say, well, you know, here's the thing about it. The Bible only tells so much. And for the sake of entertainment, you do have to insert things into shows like this to make them palatable for an audience. Otherwise, you end up with your everyday boring Jesus Easter special, which nobody watches. Okay. A lot of people watch this show. In fact, it's been credited with actually teaching more people about the Bible. There have been several people who have claimed to be non-believers who have said after watching this show, I have started to gain more interest in reading about the Bible, which I think is a great thing. Now, as it pertains to this particular situation, my only thing is this. It pains me to hear that people are promoting this as this man was promoting LGBTQ or he was flying this flag around. He had it on his little camera. It just happened to make this particular shot, but it wasn't like he goes around promoting his gay beliefs on the show other than showing the flag on his camera. That way people know he either is gay, maybe he has a child who's gay and he just wants to show his support. I don't know what it is. He's an adult. I don't see him pushing this on children. I've never seen them bring this type of stuff up on the set. It is a set where people pray, where people show fellowship. There's lots of different people on the set. And I personally have never seen anything bad or nefarious going on. So my personal opinion with this is that I feel like we have bigger battles to fight and protest other than this. Because if this show goes away and you guys rather have all the other crap that's on the TV or on Hulu or on Netflix, then make sure that you write into the production and say, I would like a full photograph of your set and everything that people are wearing and flying on their camera equipment and stickers on their car, because I guarantee you, you guys will be doing nothing. You won't be watching anything. You won't be on your phones, because one way or another, it's all tied to something tied to LGBTQ. That's just the world we live in. I'm not saying we need to accept it. I'm just saying I feel like the outrage over this particular situation is a little out of hand. And that's it.
If you're not calling for acceptance, then what are you calling for?
I'm just calling for it to be just like, bring it up and say, hey, you know, Dallas did respond to it. He posted a whole 20-minute video on the Chosen YouTube page if you guys want to go watch it. And he said, we've never policed people's beliefs. We're not going to start now. This gentleman has been with the show since the inception of the show. Regardless of his beliefs, he has been here working every day to bring this show to people's television sets so people can read and understand the story.
If that's the case, then why did I see many people, including you, get mad that the NFL and the NBA had all this stuff flying there? If they're allowed to do that, then why did half of the conservative movement boycott the NBA, the NFL, Target, Kohl's? They're all flying these symbols.
Okay.
And none of that stuff was aimed towards kids.
But it is though, right? Because when I walk into Kohl's with my kids and I'm in the section right next to the kids section and there's a shirt saying I like girls or whatever, yeah, that is putting it more in your face. This guy wasn't trying to be in front of the camera. Somebody just zoomed in on this and caught it. This guy wasn't trying to promote this. Okay, that's different from the NFL, who's literally walking across the field with a freaking pride flag. Okay, people who are wearing pride masks, people who are openly talking about it and pushing it on people in situations where kids are at.
And this show's no different. How?
Because they're not doing that. That's not what's happening there. I have been, and I have not ever been approached by somebody who's like, I'm gay, support the LGBT. No, people just mind their own business.
So you don't find having rainbow flags on a Christian set to be extremely disrespectful and insensitive?
It's not a Christian set. It's not.
It's about a Christian. It's about Jesus. Like
it is, but it's not a Christian set.
Do and don't believe in. Who cares? What are they talking about? That doesn't matter. What are they talking about?
Exactly. Let's focus on what they're talking about, and let's not focus on canceling that.
But this doesn't make any sense. There's someone on the set who feels proud of flying that. I don't care what you say. It could have been a small flag, whatever. On the back of his jacket, he's got rainbow shit everywhere too.
Mm-hmm.
If he can go there and do that, and their response is, we accept everyone, what message is that sending?
It sends the message that he's an adult and he can wear what he wants on his body. We wear triggering stuff all the time.
I don't wear triggering things that have anything to do with disrespecting Christianity. I can't go, and I brought this example up to you before. I don't get to go to Uncle Tom and wear a rebel flag, and then when people say that I'm wearing a rebel flag, right, it's going to reflect badly. It's not about what's in people's hearts. Clearly, that doesn't exist in America. It's about optics. If I go to Uncle Tom 3 when we're filming and I show up there with a rebel flag and someone takes a picture and puts that on social media, what is Uncle Tom 3 going to be showcased as? What is the narrative going to be?
You know, I know that there's a few people on Uncle Tom that have views that could be very triggering.
I'm not talking about views. I'm talking about flying.
But are you going to associate that? But are you going to associate that?
It doesn't matter. What is society going to say? They're going to associate the rebel flag with Uncle Tom 3, especially given the things that we're talking about.
Right.
It sends a wrong message, period,
again,
point blank.
I want to go back to who is trying to do more damage here. The guy with the little tiny flag, or people that are trying to cancel a show with a good message? Forget who's on the set. Nobody's seeing that on a regular basis. For all you know, what if this guy, after 4 seasons of working on this show, is starting to think, you know, maybe I need to rethink? You never know. You never know what being exposed to the word of God can do for people, right? You never know. And so I say we can either focus on canceling this, or we can focus on canceling real damaging stuff, real degenerate stuff that is actually targeting our children. This is not targeting our children. I cannot tell you
this is
how
what happens.
Careful. I
Give
cannot
them
tell
an
you.
inch, they take a mile.
I cannot and I get that. Listen, like I said, I'm open to hearing, and that's the part that I really, really agree with you. And I hope that that is not what the intention is here. And I only say that because I've actually been on these sets. I've actually been there. Okay. When it comes to children on sets that I have worked on in Texas and the Chosen Films in Texas, I cannot tell you how careful they are with the children. There are so many rules. My son, who is like 6'2", looks like a 30-year-old guy. I had to go everywhere with him. I had to approve everything he was exposed to. I had to walk with him from point A to point B. They are very, very careful about that. So I can guarantee you that on this particular set, there's nothing nefarious going on. There's no agenda pushing going on. Even Dallas himself said, I do not recognize or celebrate Pride.
Why have the flag there?
Because
and
it's
why,
the other
when
guy's
someone
camera.
challenges it, when someone points it out, you don't say, actually, we don't celebrate Pride. This is not something we do here. You fucking double down and say you accept everyone. Like, we gotta be honest about this. You can't condemn inclusivity and then embrace it the next day and say, well, who cares? Who cares what you believe? Let's let a pedophile on set. As long as he's pushing what we believe, let's bring this pedophile. Matter of fact, let's bring the murderer. Let's bring the drunkard. Let's bring all these elements, right? Let's just go ahead and invite it all. And as long as they're pushing what we believe in, they're allowed to be on the set. It's fine.
Again,
I'm not calling to cancel the show. I don't really give a shit about the show.
Right.
I'm talking to the overall overarching issue here. It's called being inclusive and conforming.
What I'm trying to say is you'd be hard pressed to have a company, much less a gigantic multi-million-dollar production where people have to film, lighting, wardrobe, catering, crafts, everything. Okay. You'd be hard pressed to even have that if you're going to examine what everybody's moral compass is. I'm not saying bring a murderer on your show. Clearly, that's why you run a background check. And when you work on these sets, you have to run a full background check. You have to be a safe person to be around. But, okay, I'm saying just in this case, I'm not talking about every single situation. Just in this case, we really have to look at what we're fighting in this case. Is it
No.
worth the fight for this case? And I don't
Yes.
think it is.
It's always worth the fight for a message regarding Jesus. It's always worth the fight. You don't ever conform and just say, well, I want to be nice today. Jesus isn't nice. We need to stop promoting this hippie-like figure of Christ because it's not what he was. Jesus flipped tables. Jesus he had in righteous anger. He was indignant about a lot of things. He himself came and said he came to divide. He didn't come to bring people together.
And
so
to that I would say, if you personally had that belief and you were working on this set, because that's where we're talking. Oh my God, my thing just died. Woo, are you there? Do you still hear me? Okay. Yeah. If you were personally working on this set, I would say, if morally this doesn't work for you, then yes, to be right in the kingdom of God for yourself, you should absolutely leave. You should not work with people like this. You should not associate with people like this. You should not sit at a table with people like this and break bread. Okay. My problem was last night, and I love my brother Brandon to death, but he was going hard on this situation. And I said, hold on just a second, because you're friends with Dave Rubin. You're friends with Amir, who I love Amir. You're friends with, what's his name out in Miami? Rob Smith, Christian Walker, right? I don't know if you've had them all in your home. I know a few of them you have. And I'm not saying I tell you what to do in your home. You do what you want to do, right? But you can't say that he can't do it if you do it. You got to stay consistent. See, this is why Mo is the way she is, because I know I'm not perfect. I have had gay people in my house. There are gay people in my life that I absolutely love and respect. I don't have a problem with them. Do they come and flaunt their gayness? Absolutely not, because I wouldn't tolerate that. But I'm not the perfect person that just like, I'm pushing all the gays away. I'm just not like that. That's just not me. It's never been me. It's never going to be me. But I will say this. It's that type of thing that when it comes to trying to bring people to Christianity in this specific instance, I'm not saying in all the instances, that it makes it very difficult for people because they think I can never measure up to that level of perfectionism. I can never do it. I can never do it. But that's how it comes across to people is what I'm saying. When you hear people talking about it, that's really what I think pushes people away. Is they feel like they have to
good. I already said Jesus did not come to unify. So if it's pushing people away, that's called conviction. You don't want to be convicted about your shit. So good. Yes, I hope more Christians push sinners away. I'm not even say sinners. I hope more Christians irritate demons' souls so much that they get the crap away. Absolutely. Right. And I just found this. Lion Gates nabs the world's rights to crowdfund series Chosen. Nobody should be supporting this from this moment on because it's tied to Hollywood. We just sat here and watched a whole montage of how they push these things through Black history. They're doing it through rap music. They're trying to push it in academia. They're pushing it in schools. And the last frontier is let's make Christians so fucking docile and weak that they conform and allow anything for the sake of being accepted in society and culture. So if you want to be accepted, go right ahead. That's fine. That's fine. But I don't think it's fair to ask people who actually believe in the Bible and take it serious to put their beliefs aside and continue to watch something that is, in all honesty, if you're letting people like this on the set, no Christian should support it. Just like they're not supporting Target.
Listen, I agree. And I'm not saying anybody should put anything to the side. What I'm saying is, as a whole, right? You personally, right? When I die, it's just me going up there, hopefully, God willing, to go talk to God for him to say, Mo, you don't got to tell me anything you did or didn't do. I already know, right? I got to have that conversation. I'm not bringing the Instagram congregation with me. It's not going to be on a live. It's just me and God. And he's going to tell me if I did things the way he thought I should do them. You know what I mean? So yes, absolutely. Make whatever decision you feel is right for yourself. But as a whole, do we need to spend time destroying this? I don't think so.
It's
I
sin.
don't
Why,
think so.
why would you let sin in?
You don't have to let it
There's
in.
no
Don't watch
point
the
in
show.
doing that.
Then don't watch the show. That's what I
Okay.
say. Just
This
like
is,
just
this
like
is what
I don't watch-
happens. This
Listen,
is what happens.
I'm going to a women's basketball game tomorrow, and Brittany Griner is going to be there. Does that mean I support? I had to pay for the ticket.
That's disanalogous.
Oh, don't use that word. Don't
Completely
use that
disanalogous.
Don't use big words with me, girl. Don't use them. Listen, I just think in this particular case, this is not the thing to cancel. It's not. We're doing more harm than good canceling a message, a story about Jesus.
A
which is a good
message
story.
tied to inclusivity, which is not about Jesus.
But they've never messaged
No.
that in the show.
They don't
is what
have to message it in the show. It's on the set. Who knows what they're going to be introducing after this came out? And there's literally shows. There's documentation showing that Lion Gates is taking this over.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this just happened by chance.
So
This dude if he's been proud of being a flaming flagget, then he's been flying that this entire time. I'm pretty sure they come on set and they talk about all these things. Like, let's be realistic here. Let's be honest. Let's talk about the church.
Mhm.
Because that's another thing people are being, to say that this isn't weird and it's not just, this is very convenient timing. And they don't push this on the show.
Mm-hmm.
After reading that they accept non-believers and believers
to work on the show.
Please. There
They
is
do.
more. Okay. So then it's not, listen, it's not a Christian show. Okay. It's not even biblically sound. I've watched the show. There are a ton of things that are inaccurate that make no sense. And on top of that, the cherry on top, you are allowing people into a set talking about Jesus for them to fly a rainbow flag. A rainbow flag on a set about a Christian figure. What does the rainbow mean? Because it don't mean butt fucking. It's not what it means, and that's why he's flying it. So how can we say it's a good Christian show, and then they allow this on the set that has nothing to do, and it goes against what they're actually talking about? How can anybody take this serious? Now, look, if you're going to watch it, watch it. I don't really care what people watch. I don't. But I'm going to be consistent and call a spade a spade. And I guarantee you 6 months to a year, we'll be talking about how gay Chosen is because they have somehow decided to infuse homosexuality into the story. They don't function at this level unless they're rubbing elbows. This is a fact. Nothing gets this big unless they're rubbing elbows. They're getting funding, and it ain't just coming from Christian people.
Well, I'll tell you what. I was looking at Lion Gate's website. It seems like I didn't even know this, that they have a whole faith-based section. But you parents out there may want to go take a good look at the list of kids' movies that they have there and pull them off of your kids' collection and TV shows, okay, mind you, and movies that we all know and love. John Wick was one of them. They've done a lot of recent productions. They've done a lot of recent productions, and we all love them. So we gonna stop watching Lion Gate movies now too?
If you're gonna be consistent, yeah. I don't watch anything with gays in it.
Okay.
I don't watch anything.
Oh,
with
no.
gays in it.
Anything that's produced by anybody that gay in front of the camera or behind is what you're saying.
I barely watch TV as it is. So I'm one of those people. I don't care about turning a movie off. I don't care about not watching another movie in my life. I'm not going to die if I can't watch a movie. There's better things to do.
Neither am I.
More people need to take up this advice of turning the idiot box off and doing something different with your time.
Yeah.
Turn it off.
I agree.
Unless you're learning, turn it the fuck off.
I agree.
It's all programming.
I agree.
No, from watching John Wick.
Yeah, John Wick is on there. There's a lot, guys. A lot of black films. A lot of black films on there. We gotta boycott that. Rambo, all-time favorite. Gone. Twilight. Divergent. Medea. Can we please let's boycott Tyler Perry?
Yes,
He works
'cause
with the gays.
He's gay.
Let's
don't
get
know.
rid of him. Twilight. Forget about it.
I mean, we want to get rid of people who go against us politically.
Yeah.
The right has no problem canceling people on the left. I've seen it with my own eyes. They have no problem canceling it. And they have no problem condemning it.
Yeah.
But this subject is the only subject people struggle with.
It is. It's a struggle for people. It's a struggle for people. It's a struggle for me. I can't speak for people. It's a struggle for me sometimes when it gets to this, this level of minute discussion. But I happen to have a picture of what your girl Mo's gonna look like after I cancel all this shit. Here is an actual live picture of me after I cancel Target, Lionsgate movies, everything else, drinks, food that I can't fuck with, because if there's somebody gay there, I'm done with you. So here you are. Here I am in the wild preparing to preparing for my boycott. I'm making a joke, of course. But it feels like that. I'm gonna have to boycott all the makeup companies, the hair companies, clothes. Hell, I'm wearing a shirt that came from Target. Fuck. Granted, 5 years ago, but still.
I just don't want to hear people complain anymore. Like if all we're gonna do is conform and just exist, then don't ever complain about anything. Nobody should have anything to say going forward. You shouldn't talk about politics. You shouldn't talk about nothing. If we're just supposed to sit and exist in life, then why are we always talking about change? We're just supposed to exist. The world is going to change whether we want it to or not. So don't do anything.
Well,
just sit
no,
back and go with the flow.
Because I think we've lost the ability to communicate and talk, right? We don't want to talk about anything because everybody's afraid of getting attacked over what their beliefs are. But I mean, in all honesty, if you can only talk about things when you have the utmost expertise in them, or you're the perfect Christian and you do no wrong, and you can only talk about it then, well, then I guess I can't ever talk about it. I guess
It's not about being a perfect Christian. Like, I'm going to be honest. I can't stand when people do that. There's nothing wrong with having standards, and there's nothing wrong with implementing those standards and expecting people to live by that. It's not asking for perfection. It's called reverence. It's called respect. It's called, this is what this Bible says. And you know what? I don't believe in it. So because I don't believe in all the parts of this Bible, I'm not going to make you change for me. I'm going to leave your stuff alone, and I'll go start something else over here. But we keep with this, Christians have to be perfect. Bro, come on. That's what deters people away. Like,
yeah,
this conversation right here, notice more people are agreeing with you because, quite honestly, you're appealing to feelings.
But people have feelings about this, and I know that
Sure, but when do we grow up and become adults?
It takes people time. I think it takes people time. Not everybody gets there in the same way. And I think it's important for people to talk about this topic in a sensitive way, not a tolerant way, not a way that you have to be tolerant to people's feelings, but in a sensitive way, understanding that not everybody is where you're at. You know what I mean? Like, the way I was when I was 20 is not the way I was now. You know what I mean? So I know that there are people out there that feel this. And I know that there are people, like when I'm watching lives from you or from Brandon or anybody Bryson, who talks about this stuff, deep down, they're afraid to say one little thing that will get the mob in the comments to come after them. But there's some stuff I can tell some people really want to say, but they just don't say it. And it's important that you say it. It's important that you don't feel like you can't say something and maybe sound dumb for it. Who cares? It's through that conversation that you can get to some type of understanding. I have learned a ton of stuff just listening to people online and not speaking. Even when I have some, dumb opinion about it, I just don't speak and I listen. And we've lost the ability to communicate and to listen. It's sad. So we're never going to get anywhere with this topic if we don't have conversations like you and I are having right now, where we're two people who see differently on a subject. And I'm not saying we see differently completely, because there's a lot of stuff I agree with you on. Even when it comes to this subject, I can agree with you on a lot of things and I can say, yeah, you're right. But me personally inside, like, this is just how I feel about that. I totally get what you're saying. I totally hear you. I understand what you're saying. I understand where it's coming from. But I have this inner confusion, this inner tug with this particular situation. Not everything, this particular situation.
There's a reason for that. And this is it right here.
Mm-hmm.
It's wrong. It's mean. Well, why can't they do this? Well, why can't I go to the WNBA? Because I don't measure up. That's why.
Right.
And everybody doesn't get a seat at the table. Sorry. We got to stop this, man.
Right.
Or the world is going to be far worse than it is. We keep conforming, accepting. We're not going to recognize anything. And hopefully I'll be dead before that happens, because I would rather not see a world where any and everything is okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want it to be like that. I don't want it to be like that either. I definitely don't. But I want us to get further in getting to where there's a higher level of character that people have, whether you're Christian or not. I think that you can be not Christian and have decent character, because not everybody wants to be Christian. Not everybody is going for that. And that's okay too. You don't have to associate with them. I don't have to associate with them. I have lots of friends who are not Christian. Are they terrible people? No. But do I ask them what they do in their bedroom? No. They may be complete freaks for all I know. They may be fornicators. They may be cheaters, whatever. But I don't ask, because they're good people. You know, we're supposed to minister to people as Christians. We're supposed to try to say to them, hey, what you're doing is wrong. That's our job to do that. But to beat people over the head, I do not believe that's our job. I do not believe it is our job to beat people down into submission over it. You give them the information and you hope that they take it and do something with it. And that's all you can do.
We'll see where that gets so-called Christians in the next 20 years. I can't wait to see it.
Soonie, what you gonna do if we're up in heaven, right? And you make it past the gate and you see me on the inside? What you gonna do? You gonna be like, Mo, you made it? Or you gonna be like, how the hell did you get here?
No.
How'd you get here?
I just know there won't be any fornicators, no drunkards, or any of that shit there. So if you're there, clearly you weren't participating in any of that.
But I've been a drunkard. I drink now. I've gotten drunk. Not recently, but I have.
That's your personal business. Like, we don't ever even get into that subject personally.
Well, we don't have to.
I'm not in charge of where you go. I'm simply talking about conforming.
Yeah.
And where we are. That's just the shit. We're asking for people who take it serious to not take it serious. And I think that that's a tall order. And in fact, it's a slap in the face, because some people take they take this serious. This is their belief system. It means something to them.
Absolutely.
And I'm sorry. I support Tatum on this subject, even though he is definitely a freaking hypocrite because he has homosexual friends and he accepts it.
Right.
I don't have any of that. You look, come around my family, spend time. I don't tolerate that. It's not in my home. I don't have friends who partake in that, and that's fine.
Yeah, no,
that's fine.
Listen, that's what I'm trying to say to you. Is I can sit up here and say all the right things. Let's just pretend Mo never said anything and I just said, this is absolutely wrong. Cancel The Chosen. But when I turn this camera off, I'm going to go watch season 4. I guarantee you, and Deontay said it right here. He said 60% of the people will make it into the kingdom. I guarantee you, more than that, 80% of people who consider themselves Christians are not living by those values that they beat so hard into the head of people to live by. They're not doing it. I guarantee you. So anybody can get up here and say that they do things a certain way and they live their life a certain way. I mean, I happen to know for a fact you are, what you just said is a very factual statement. Because you and I once had a conversation where I said to you hypothetically, I'm like, what if I were like, after years of knowing each other, what if I were to tell you, hey, I'm bisexual or whatever? You would have been like, we wouldn't be friends. She flat out told me that. I think we've talked about this on the show before. And I was like, what? And she's like, well, I wouldn't let you around my children. I wouldn't bring you into my home and be comfortable with that. Right?
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah. So I respect that. Like if I were to come out and say that, the person I am, I would respect that. Just like the gay people that I'm friends with respect that of me. I do not want that in my home. If you can come here and just be a normal, regular person and it doesn't have to be about you're gay, I can have you in my home. Now, the Bible says I can't even break bread with these people. So I guess right there, I won't see Soonie in heaven. I won't. Based on that alone. And that makes me sad. That makes me sad. But I guess I'm just one of those, what do you call them? Gummy bear Christians?
I don't do name
You didn't-
calling, man.
you didn't call
I'm
it,
just
but I'm
simply
saying I heard
talking
the term.
about the chosen and like this is getting convoluted with people's feelings. We're talking about optics and what this looks like. Optically, it does not look good. The rainbow does not represent pride in your sexuality. The rainbow represents never to flood the earth again. Whether you believe the fucking earth was flooded or not, I don't give a shit. I don't care about your interpretation of the Bible. I don't care about what you do and don't believe. I care about things that have been known forever and what they represent. That's not what's going on the set. And I'm not telling people to cancel it. I think it's dumb to cancel people. In fact, I stood in opposition to the right canceling Whoopi Goldberg and caught so much heat for it. I do not believe in canceling anything, but I'm not going to sit and not give an objective opinion about what it looks like, because that's what it looks like.
Mm-hmm. I get that. I get that. That I get 100%. I totally get that. And I'm going to be 100% fair in this reporting, is there was a guy, I can't remember his name, Brandon mentioned him, but he's the guy that tweeted them, right? He did say that he had some connections to the set, and they did report that this guy wears t-shirts and whatnot on set, right? So I'm going to say that. However, I go back to, I don't hear the people. You know what? No, I'm going to take that back, because the actors recently did come out. The actors themselves came out and said, you know, I support Pride, which is their prerogative to do. As long as you're not trying to insert that shit into the actual show itself that comes out on TV, onto our screens, to our children, that's where I'm like, you're not trying to push it in the content of the show. I think you're muted, Soonie.
Yeah, it was the jet going over my head.
Oh.
All right. Hey, whatever. Watch the show, don't watch the show. I don't really give a shit. But I also don't want to hear people bitching 6 months from now when Chosen completely changes, including you. You better not say anything about this show. Nope. You can't say nothing.
Wait, if it changes, I can't even acknowledge I was wrong?
Nope.
I can't even come back and say I was wrong?
You can say you were wrong, but you can't come out and express any sort of frustration. No, because you just said it doesn't matter who's on the set.
Oh, okay.
There
I
are
can't.
people,
Okay.
they're allowed to work there. So since they're allowed to work there, they're allowed to fly these things. 6 months from now, I don't want to hear nothing. And if I do see you say it, I'm trolling the fuck out of you for a whole week straight. And I'm going to come back and pull this clip of
Like
you
you
saying
did.
exactly this.
Like you did when I was like, Christian Walker is not that bad. He's entertaining. And then I had to come back and say, see, at least I came back and said I was wrong.
We spent an hour on this because it is
important.
It's a touchy subject, and it's a trending topic, of course, in the conservative crowd. So of course we have to come on here and talk about it. But I also wanted to talk about a trending situation that developed in Florida, where a woman was shot. Her name is AJ Owens. She was shot through a door after some sort of, I guess, squabble, whatever you want to call it, between her and a neighbor regarding her children, and ultimately she ended up dead. Now, there are reports of her allegedly being called some racial slurs. I do see a lot of conservatives already trying to disprove this as false. And I think that it's downright stupid. And I am going to use what CNN is putting out because this is what conservatives are complaining about. Why does it have to be a black mom? Because it's what brings ratings. Stop asking retarded questions. You know why they do this. The more important pressing issue of what's happening is, why the fuck are people afraid of each other? Why can't adults participate in conflict resolution? Why does it end up with someone dead? What the crap?
Soonie, you wrote such a, I don't know where you shared this, but can I read what you sent me?
Sure.
Okay. I'm going to read. Okay, she says, I want to first offer my condolences to AJ's family. This is the most horrific time of their lives, especially those children. I kind of feel some emotion behind this story because of how senseless murder is in America. If AJ Owens was simply knocking on her neighbor's door to rectify an issue regarding her child and an iPad when she was shot, there's a bigger conversation to be had in America tonight. Why are people afraid of each other? When I say people, I mean black and white. Both sides equally view the other as a threat. And it's not even because of our own actions. This is the saddest part of it all. In modern society, it is unfortunate to witness how politicians, entertainment industries, academia, and even the church at times exacerbate social issues rather than mitigating them. These influential institutions, which should ideally work towards fostering critical thinking, understanding, and progress, often find themselves inadvertently perpetuating division and fueling the flames of discord and stereotypes. I know the biggest culprits to be culture and history be told like folklore. The entertainment industry, aka the culture, with its immense reach and influence, has the potential to shape public opinion and promote positive change. However, it sometimes succumbs to sensationalism and controversy for the sake of garnering attention and profits. This can lead to the glorification of violence, objectification of individuals, and the perpetuation of harmful stereotypes. Rather than using their platform to address societal problems constructively, the entertainment industry inadvertently perpetuates harmful narratives, further deepening social issues and reinforcing negative behaviors. She said, give me your thoughts. But I thought that was such a good statement that you wrote. So I wanted to share it.
Yeah, I was at my friend's house the other day, and you had sent me the screenshot of this while I was sitting there talking with her, and I said, I think I'm going to have to go home because I want to research this story.
Yeah.
And she wanted to know what our topics were. I don't know if she's watching or not, but if you are, hello, Erica. And I had brought this up, and she was just like, she's sensitive over this topic because she does feel black and brown people are targeted by blacks, right? And this is the crazy part about it. I said, people who watch me on a regular basis wouldn't believe that me and you are very good friends. This lady I'm close to this lady, you know, like our kids hang out. She watches my kids. I watch hers. We go camping with each other almost every weekend. We do things together with our families. People wouldn't even believe that I could sit and have a conversation with you and we're not fighting. And one thing that she drove home, and it made sense to me, right? She said, there is an emotional aspect to all this. You have to express empathy. How can we have a conversation If there is no understanding and no empathy in the room, she's a big teddy bear. You can't expect me to listen to you if you're not willing to listen to what I'm saying. And
Right.
one thing that she really drove home, and I saw Julius do this, people will say, it's not happening, you're just being sensitive. And that stuck with me. So when I went to go read the story and I went to go see what so many people were saying on social media, that was one reoccurring thing. You're making this up. This didn't happen. Oh, it has nothing to do with her being Black. And it's just like, pause. None of us has any accurate information. We're not a part of the investigation process, right? All the things that we're hearing is not coming from the mother. It's coming from eyewitnesses who are around, including the children, suspected a 9-year-old who was at the door with his mom when she was shot. We have to approach these conversations this way. And we have to get out of the mode of pointing the finger. No, you did it. No, you did it. It's the media. The media is the virus. The first thing they put up, Black woman shot by white woman. What does that do for all the folklore that's been told for generations in the Black community and the white community alike? What does it do? It fans the flames of racial division. What happened?
Which is what they want.
Is fucking tragic. I got emotional. I kind of shed a tear because I'm like, this is what any mother would do. If there's an issue, your kids come home complaining, you can see there's a problem. The first thing you go do is try to address it, figure out what's going on. And this is a reoccurring theme in America. How many kids have we seen shot playing in a yard, Black or white?
Yeah.
Playing in a yard, driving a bike on someone's patch of grass, playing hide and go seek, knocking on doors, being lost, and getting shot. Let's be real about it.
Yeah. And I read this in another article that there has been like an ongoing, I guess, tension between her and this neighbor. The details of that we really don't know. The police press conference was kind of short because they had said that they hadn't yet spoken to the children. Obviously, they're young. They didn't want to like question them right away, kind of being sensitive to the fact that, like Soonie said, one of them was right there next to their mother. So it must be a traumatic situation. But one thing he did say, which I, kind of said, well, that's true, but what good would that have done? Because we've seen this play out like this multiple times, right? He said, I wish Miss Owens or the woman that took it upon herself to shoot Miss Owens would have called us to help them deal with the situation. While that sounds really great on paper, we all know how taxed police departments are. And let's be honest, okay? If a neighbor calls and says, oh, I'm having this beef with my neighbor, she yells at my kids playing in the yard, they're going to come out and do a very general type situation. Now, again, we don't know what the full facts around this are. And I can't for the life of me understand why, unless she's completely off her rocker, would actually shoot a woman in front of her child through the door.
This is why I asked the question, why are Americans afraid of each other, and specifically Black and white? What did she do that made you feel so threatened that you felt the need to shoot through a door? Where did you fear for your life?
Right.
I think this law is too ambiguous, if you ask me. The stand your ground. I do think that Americans should be able to look. You should be able to defend yourself, but this defense should only be able to be used when it's absolute self-defense and you are in imminent danger. I think it's dangerous to make that imminent danger aspect of this subjective. I really do.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to talk about this subject just because we don't have all the information. I mean,
don't have all of it, yeah.
You don't know. I mean, we don't know if this lady came knocking on her door saying threatening her and whatever. We don't know exactly what occurred on the front lawn, what the prior situations were. We don't know if, they're saying that the lady never called the police, but they seem to know that there was a history of this. So how they know there was a history of this, I'm curious. Right?
I don't know.
If it was never reported, How did they know there's a history? But yeah, I mean, it's sad. It really is sad that a mother, children had to lose their mother to
in front of them.
In front of them,
Okay,
yeah.
it's in front of them. I just think this is a very delicate event that happened, and people need to approach it that way, and not come with the stupid. I can't do this defense of the narrative 24/7 that muddies the water, and it makes us look very insensitive and just downright mean people when you can't sit and say, you know what, I want to see what happened, right? The kids and the neighbor report racial slurs. Now, this is what I asked Julius. This is a question that I'm going to pose for anybody watching this video. How many instances have we seen where a white person and a black person get into it and racial slurs are thrown?
Lately?
In life.
Lots.
I've seen it. You see it a lot, right?
Yeah.
So why is it far? This is the question I'm asking. Why is it so far-fetched for people to think that this could possibly happen in America? And why are conservatives defensive of this as if it doesn't happen? You see all these people all the time. So if she did say a racial slur, it's not uncommon. And the question would be, okay, where is it coming from? Did you just say it because you're pissed off and you want to get under somebody's skin? This is what I mean by context. I'm not going to sit here and say, I don't believe that racial slurs were thrown. Actually, I do. You're lying to yourself if you say that these things don't fly to your mouth when you're pissed off. Let's get real. Let's get real. The overarching question or the overarching issue and the more important discussion I feel we should be having is we are afraid of each other because of stereotypes. White people are definitely threatened by blacks because of what conservatives share, because of what media depicts us as, and because of how we carry ourselves, depending on where you live. We got to stop pretending.
Yeah. Yeah. So I wanted to read this little excerpt that I found.
I gotta go.
You gotta go. Okay.
I'll pop in via my phone.
Okay. No, you're fine. You're fine. I don't think you can. Oh, you can on here.
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Cool. Well, while you're switching over to your car, I'll go ahead and read this. Okay. So Owens' mother, Pamela Diaz, said in an interview with MSNBC, Joey Reid, our favorite person, that her daughter did what any parent would do, like Soonie said, in confronting a neighbor. She simply knocked on the door. The woman shot her through the closed door with her 9-year-old son standing next to her. She said Owens was unarmed, and the sheriff's office has not confirmed that yet. But you're going to see down here there were 2 weapons found at the scene. So Woods, the sheriff, citing information from the alleged shooter, said there was a lot of aggressiveness at the door from both neighbors, whether it be banging on the doors, banging on the walls, and threats being made. Friday's incident appeared to have been tied to a neighborhood feud over time. Police collected 2 firearms, bullets, and other evidence at the scene, which is what the report showed. So again, we don't know if those 2 firearms belong to the woman inside the residence or if AJ herself came back with a weapon, because I believe she was coming back to retrieve the iPad. The lady reportedly threw something at her, or I don't know if that happened after or before when she came back. And yeah, so
you have to bring me up.
Are you sure you don't want to just end it here? Because I think we were just wanting to cover this topic, or do you want to cover the other topics?
You know what? You're right. We'll come back Friday with the rest of our commentary. We do have to end this show because my children, it's the summer. But look, I hope people enjoyed this discussion back and forth from us. I really hope people watch the beginning of the show where we show this stuff is just not happening by accident. These things are being pushed, and I'm talking about Chosen. I'm talking about the stereotypes that we're talking about here today, why people are afraid of each other, why people can't do conflict resolution, why the immediate response is to call people racial slurs and then shoot people through doors. And then I felt threatened for my life. Of course, we need all the details. But I am really imploring conservatives to please take a different approach. Please talk about the more important issues, which are stereotypes and people perpetuating those stereotypes. See how I'm being full circle? I'm holding everyone accountable. We perpetuate these stereotypes, but there are also people who will stereotype you based on these things. And it's not right. It's not fair. And we're seeing a fallout of that in our country.
Yeah. The only way we're going to change the narrative is if we change it. We can't wait for somebody large to come in along and say, we're changing the narrative as a whole. No, individually, one by one, we have to stop sharing these narratives and, you know, again, speak to each other, communicate, be objective about situations and not emotional, me included. Sometimes emotions are warranted. Soonie doesn't think so, but you know,
stop lying.
Emotions have a place. Thank you guys. Yeah, thank you guys for joining the show. Please make sure to go back and watch it if you didn't watch the whole thing. And we will be back Friday with a full show.
Yes, we will.
We love you guys.
And we'll bring some of the other topics. Actually, we'll make the next show that topic. The Candace Owens
follow up. Oh yeah. Ooh, that Candace Owens topic. Dang.
I'm mad we didn't get to it. It's okay though. Cliffhanger. We'll see you guys Friday.
Okay, bye.
They say the song's so offensive, but only if you get offended. I can't offend you without your permission, and you don't even have to listen. They say the song's so offensive, but only if you get offended.